Call the Riverside Township Board of Trustees meeting for January 13th, 2015 to order. Leanne, would you please lead us in the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Before anybody sits down, I'd like to have a moment of remembrance for Judy Berta and the people in Paris that were murdered. Okay. Roll call on the board.
Trustee Ertler?
Here.
Trustee Clark?
Here.
Trustee Gazeman?
Here.
Trustee Kibitsky? Here. Supervisor Tusher?
Here.
Let the record note, Clerk Blau is also in attendance.
Do I hear a motion for approval of the minutes of December 9, 2014's meeting?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
Any questions, concerns? Hearing none. All in favor, or roll call?
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Trustee Kibitsky? Yes. Trustee Ertler?
Yes.
Trustee Gazeman?
Yes.
Supervisor Tusher?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Any communications?
Yes, we have several. We received a letter from the Riverside Chamber of Commerce thanking us for our participation in the 40th annual holiday stroll. We received communication from the Riverside Golden Agers of North Riverside, thanking them for our grant that they received, wishing us happy holidays. And I believe that's it.
Okay. Visitors' remarks. No visitors, don't hear anything. Supervisor's report. Real quickly, hanging on the board is Toys Educational thing. It was in the magazine that just came out. The one held in Naperville.
Oh, the district.
Yeah, right. That's coming up. Sign up if you want it to go. Trustees reports.
I don't have a report, but I was just curious if you've heard anything further from Leslie Balanik. Nothing?
Nothing.
I would like to say the seniors are meeting this Thursday at 1 o'clock in the auditorium upstairs, and we have two speakers. One is going to be on how to keep moving during the cold weather, and then we have two people coming in to do a comedy routine.
Well, I got a call from Aging Care Connections, I think. They're both the one and the same. They've got functions, and I said, get me some stuff and we can get it to you, Mary Rob.
Okay.
Or I'm going to forward, the information to you. And it's specifically for seniors.
Okay.
Okay? Mental Health Board. Anything about Mental Health Board in it besides the question you already had? Okay, under old business, auditorium improvements. We have two proposals. And one is for $4,800, but they're going to remove existing radiator valves and traps on 3 radiators, adjust pitch, they're piping, and install 3 self-contained zoning valves with remote sensors. Install new steam traps on 3 radiators and calibrate for the test zone. Now, what here is they were gonna inspect, the piping in all accessible areas, and that was gonna be, and per trap, they were gonna do, it would be $1,500 plus, $575 per trap. Okay? And with my feeling, Riverside Plumbing's putting out more. They did not, Star Piping isn't gonna do as much as Riverside Plumbing. But with this building, so much going wrong, and having test zoning valves and stuff like that on 3 radiator traps, and pitching it properly. My thinking is go with Riverside Plumbing because they're doing more work and they're gonna adjust the radiator piping. Because if you notice, I don't know if it's in here or not, I was putting that off until I got something back. Remember we had put out a bid, and we called in, about the leak in the auditorium, the top part, or really it's for the bottom part. And, what's happening is that the piping there's no steam leaking the floor or the wall on the bottom. He had to call out Galt Preservation Construction Company. They crawled in the basement, or the crawl space in the top, the attic, and I haven't seen any prices yet or anything from Galt. But the face brick on the interior, not the outside brick, but the common brick, on the interior, they said they can pull those bricks out by hand, so God only knows what's going on up there. He said, he said he'll send pictures whenever ready. They figure out a price on what to do. But, that's why I'm going back to Riverside Plumbing. They're looking more just at not only replacing certain bits and pieces, and further down the road something else could happen. They kind of like to fix it themselves because they're homegrown people. That's my feeling. Yes, Ann?
The reason for the leak, the damage up there, what was that?
That is from coming in from the outside, underneath the copper eaves, which they said they're probably going to have to replace or fix or something, because it's coming in through the roof. They're going to have to replace some tiles or whatever, because it's coming in, dripping down to the interior common brick, between the face brick and the common brick, coming in, damaging the part of the ceiling up there and down, dribbling down. You can start from there, and you can find a leak over there. That's the problem. And he said there are some beams that are, that they can put new supports on, splinters on to make it secure. But because of the age of it and how many years it's been going on, it's just showing up now. And I'm the messenger, Ann. Don't kill the messenger.
No, I'm just a question. So who discovered that?
All.
Okay, not.
Okay, and Riverside Plumbing was, because I called Riverside Plumbing in, and they crawled underneath.
Was that because of the vestibule had that stuff in it?
No.
No?
They crawled underneath the crawl space between the floor and the ceiling of the first floor. And the floor of the second floor, they crawled under there and followed the pipes. None of those were leaking. So he called in all. 5 works, but it's gonna have to be replaced. And then you've got another steam trap on the east wall, and one on the west wall, and the north wall. Yeah, 2 on the north wall. And then they're putting in zone heating too, for zone valve, calibrate and test, run zone valves.
And this is all the cost of $4,800?
Right.
I make a motion that we go with Riverside Plumbing and Heating to fix the auditorium heating at a cost of $4,800. You need plus or minus 10%?
Yeah.
Okay, in the motion.
I second.
Any other questions or concerns? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Giesman?
Yes.
Trustee Kibitsky?
Yes.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Trustee Ertler?
Yes.
Supervisor Tusher?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Okay. That's all for old business, new business. Boiler heating problems. Proposal. The boiler's working. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
I think it's working too well, because I had them, give us a bid on why the building is so hot in one area and so cold in an area. You know, I think, John, you had mentioned, why is it so hot in here? Yeah, in December or November. Honeywell programmable thermostats on these, on the boilers for 21st, you know, to regulate each area. And he's putting in 3 zoning areas, okay? For $3,100. I talked to Star Piping, and they don't feel confident that they could do that.
So according to this, it said they have never done anything like this before.
Right. So do I hear a motion to accept Riverside Plumbing's heating proposal?
For $3,100, I'll make the motion plus or minus 10%.
Do I hear a second?
And that's for the boiler heating improvements.
I'll second.
Any other questions, concerns? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Kibitsky?
Yes.
Trustee Giesman?
No.
Trustee Ertler?
Yes.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Supervisor Tusher?
Yes.
Motion carried.
I was approached by more than 2, 3, 4 people about some type of resolution for Topeka for the town hall. I suggest we table this, because what has been suggested, I don't know if it can even be done, or they could even think about doing it, because it's an historic building. You know, if anything, I'll talk to the 3, 4 people that have brought it up. You know, maybe we can just have a plaque made eventually, you know, with Judy's name on it, instead of dedicating the whole building, because that's what they want to do, and I don't think we can do that.
What, to
Yeah.
dedicate the building?
Yeah,
I don't think you can
I
either.
know.
What prevents us from doing that?
It's an historical site. I mean, you can't do that in the village of Riverside, dedicate a historical site to a certain person or a group or whatever. As far as I make out, they're, you know, push it back onto them, since they really, you know, then find out and let me know and get something in writing to me, you know, and I'll present it before the board. So I'm suggesting we table this.
I make a motion to table it.
Second the motion.
Any questions, concerns? Hearing none, roll, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
No. Or I mean, yes, I oppose.
You're opposed to tabling
You're
the
opposed to
motion?
tabling it?
I oppose tabling it, yes. I think we ought to proceed and act as though we can do it, and if we can't do it, then we turn it off.
Well, tabling it is not turning it off. Just
Tabling it
putting
is-
it on hold.
Yeah, and when are you gonna bring it up?
Until we
next?
find out more information from this certain group who's gonna find out, do all the legwork.
Anyway, I
That's
didn't
fine.
win.
Can I ask a question, Rich?
Yes.
About that subject? Now, is it a legal issue that we have to find out the information about? Or is it
That's a village, type of- because of historic,
so it would be the Village of Riverside that would have to make a determination on that?
whether or not we can dedicate a building, a historic building.
I think that because this building is designated as a historic building from the federal government, there are a lot of restrictions on what can be done to it. And I think that's where the research has to come in.
Oh, okay, thank you. I just wanted a clarification of that.
Okay.
Did we
Ian,
finish roll call?
I can't hear you.
Did we finish roll call on
I
tabling
thought
the
all,
motion?
I thought everybody said all. we were all
No,
in
he said
favor of what
all.
he said.
He changed it to all in favor. And, he
And-
said
Oh, all in
yes.
favor.
and Wayne-
was
and Wayne said
opposed.
no.
Okay.
Okay, in your packet, you've got 2014, 2015 budget ordinance. Review it, and we'll have it on the agenda for next month with your changes.
You mean 15 and 16?
Pardon me?
I think you mean 15 and 16.
For next month, but what's in your packets for 14, 15?
Oh,
But you aren't thinking about adopting it anytime before, like April, right?
Well, it has to be done by March 31st, so we could adopt it in March meeting.
Well, it doesn't have to be done, it can be done within the first quarter ending of your fiscal year. But we've traditionally done it at the meeting after the annual meeting. We have.
So you're talking about May's
a hearing.
meeting?
No, April.
April's
We have a
meeting.
hearing.
We had the
on
budget
it,
hearing at
And
the,
then we would adopt it at that meeting.
Well,
here.
I'm gonna be going on vacation 2 days after that, so I'm not gonna be around for any special meeting after.
no, it's on the annual meeting. It's the meeting right after the annual meeting, Rich.
I thought you were
regular
talking
meeting.
after,
No,
the month
The annual
after.
meeting, the hearing, and then our regular meeting.
Okay,
And, you know, I'm thinking too of the mental health board because we have our budget to prepare and submit. So, I mean, that's because of the timing of our meetings, there's no way we're gonna have it ready next month.
Okay, fine.
But, I mean, we can certainly have a draft, you know, and look at
Yeah.
it, make revisions, see how, you know.
well, yeah, you make your, like I said, you make your changes and suggestions and stuff like that, and then that's February, and then March, we can go over it again.
Fine tune it, and
Yeah.
then,
How's that sound?
Sounds like a plan.
Okay. FYI, the decrease in state income tax, mileage reimbursement rate for 215. Eastland disaster, you want to, was that February 22nd
Yes, at 2 p.m.
at 2 p.m.?
I can't go.
Scuffy won't make it, he'll be out too, but he's been in 2 or 3 times saying
What?
how great it is and how bad, but he'll be out of town.
He was on
Are
that
we
shit,
gonna
wasn't
are
he?
we gonna have a taping of that?
Hey, Rich?
You want to make a note, February 22nd? Well, go ahead. You want a piece of paper and pen? Yeah, those are free, okay. You're young, you can remember that date, right? Okay.
Washington
Washington's birth?
I'll be in the Bahamas.
Bahamas. Bahama Mamas. I hear they're good drinks.
Might as well have fun, right?
Community Support Services audit, there's a copy in your, in the township office. Any further, remarks from the visitors, which aren't any? Okay, we go to approval of warrants.
You want me to do that?
Please, you always do.
All right, motion that the board approve and ratify payment of the bills identified on the general warrant January 2015 in the amount of $12,259.86 as presented to the board this 13th day of January 2015.
Second the motion.
Any questions, concerns? Hearing none, roll call.
Trustee Ertler?
Yes.
Trustee Clark?
Yes.
Trustee Kibitsky?
Yes.
Trustee Giesman?
Yes.
Supervisor Tusher?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Then a motion that the board ratify and approve payment of the amounts indicated on the following warrants. Utility warrant January 2015 in the amount of $2,871.14. Payroll warrant January 2015 in the amount of $16,429.21. Health warrant January 2015 in the amount of $2,445.57. Monthly filings January 2015 in the amount of $3,493.51. Grants January 2015 in the amount of $2,918.66. General assistance warrant January 2015 in the amount of $1,500. Township radio players warrant January 2015 in the amount of $120. And food pantry warrant January 2015 in the amount of $1,002.57. All of the above as presented to the board this 13th day of January 2015.
Second the motion.
Questions, concerns?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
On the grant warrant,
Where's that? Let me find it. Yes,
the middle one there, I didn't quite understand where that came from because
what middle one?
the 15506,
For J-Mar Technologies,
yeah.
Batteries.
batteries.
There was a grant that was requested for the total amount of $4,632 back in February of 2014, and it was paid out, I believe.
On general assistance?
No.
No, on grants,
Grants, oh,
general grants.
okay.
Find it?
When I found the grants, which one are you talking
Okay, the
about?
middle one,
Second one.
15506.
15506, okay.
Yeah, that was a follow-up to a grant that was made back in February of 2014 for a total of $4,632, which I believe was paid out. And in that request, didn't say anything about batteries or anything to follow. So I just was kind of curious how this even came up.
Why don't I get back to you on that? And I will leave the answer in your box, okay?
Okay.
Any other questions, concerns? Hearing
Make a
none.
motion,
No, we didn't.
No.
Oh, do I make,
Vote on this yet.
do I hear a motion to accept?
She made the motion and I seconded
Seconded.
it.
Oh,
We're
okay.
waiting for the roll call.
Well, roll call then.
Trustee,
Ann got me going, I forgot what the heck we were doing.
have a habit of doing that.
Trustee Giesman,
Yes.
trustee Clark,
Yes.
trustee Ertler.
Yes.
Trustee Kibitsky,
Yes.
supervisor Tusher.
Yes.
Motion carried.
And when you get questions like that, can you make it a Monday so we, we've got time to find out? Because I know you're usually on the weekend, so leave a note so we, on something like that, so we can come up with an answer for you right away.
Yeah, well, I
You know,
usually
instead of hitting
leave
us
things
blind.
for Margie, but I didn't that one,
Yeah.
so, okay.
No other supervisors' reports? Do I hear a motion for adjournment?
I make the motion, we adjourn.
Do I hear a second?
Second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.